Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is my complete beginner's guide to Ostranauts, and we are on build 14, and we are running a little low on funds. When I paid the penalties and all that for my failing to pay my mortgage on time, I ate up a lot of what I was kind of, sitting on. So we're going to go and find a ship, see what we can take away from it, and we'll start talking about things we might want to hang on to if we can, to start preparing to maybe build a reactor. That's kind of where I'm thinking. But in the meantime, we're also going to see if we can build out on the other side and give ourselves a little more breathing space, maybe put in a commode, restroom, whatever you want to call it, so that we don't have to return home when that urge strikes, and try to get a bed in as well. That would be great. Okay, and we're backing away here. And as you can see, got a few seconds that we need to get clear of that station, and then we're going to head down this way. I do tend to work in a counterclockwise manner because the station is moving counterclockwise, and this ship would be great to just go straight out to, but if we're there for 2 hours, the station will be over here, and then we got to navigate around, and I'd really rather not do that if I don't have to. So, okay, we're well clear of the station now. I'm going to start giving it some forward vector, and after we have a little bit of speed built up, we will start to adjust our bearing and things like that. Okay, that's probably enough for now, and I'm slowing down, and we are indeed adjusting that vector, or bearing rather. Well, I guess that is a vector, right? Slow down the cross velocity. Get that as close to 0 as I can. That's not bad at all, actually. And we're moving at 220 meters per second. So, look at our, so I haven't messed with the throttle. You'll notice I added 2 thrusters. Our acceleration is roughly double. So that makes sense, right? Now the ship mass is a little bigger too, because we did add on, but I think the last time we took a look at this, it was about 50, I'm guessing like 59 or 63, something like that. And now we're at 1.09 Gs. So that makes perfect physical sense. I'm going to reduce that quite a bit. There we go. And we're going to be there in 4 minutes. So I'm not even sure I'm going to do any sort of activity on the ship in the meantime. We're just going to speed up time and get there. Maybe when we get to 50, okay, maybe when we get to 20 kilometers, I'll start slowing down some just so we don't blow it. And we are seeing we're drifting a little bit. So down to 1 time and correct that cross velocity. The EVA battery. In the previous episode, I talked about how you can store the EVA or charge the EVA battery. Perfect. Bearing of 0. You can charge the EVA battery on the station with their charger. I had collected that at one point. I forgot to mention that. I did go, and so I have not 1, not 2, but 3 EVA batteries on the ship right now. And we have tons of battery life, and we have tons of water, and we have a little bit of food. I did forget to go to a cart and get food. So there is that. But we can actually last out here for quite a while at this point. Now we have the potential of going crazy. We already know that his attitude about some things is a little off, and that can become problematic, but we don't have any long-term concerns there. Okay, well, we're about to hit that 5-mile mark. Go ahead and speed up till we get there. There it is. I should have started slowing down long ago. So folks, for just a second, we're going to bump this way up to slow down fast. Because that was a huge mistake on my part. Lost track of what I was thinking of. We're trying to correct the bearings in that. There we go. That'll work. So we're going well slow now. Shouldn't run into anything. I am going to continue to decelerate though. As we've seen, docking distance is very, very narrow now. So the slower the better. All right, that didn't work out too bad. And let's correct our bearing and our cross velocity. Come on, bearing, get in there. There it is. Okay, not bad. I think we can do this. There it is. What kind of ship? Titan Max. Okay, so we got another decent ship. At least size-wise. I mean, it could be a complete piece of junk. We don't know yet. Okay, looks like a tug or a, well, here it tells us it's a freighter. I was going to say it's a tug or a freighter. Testudo, so it has the floor I like. This, I like that. I like that idea. Might be able to do some scavenging here, and there's a dead body. So there's a chance there's a pirate on here. We're going to need to be mindful of that. As part of my cleanup, one of the things I did is I moved all the EVA stuff into here, and there's a bag in here, and a lot of it is in there. Oh, we're going to want to go put let's go put the conduit away. We don't need that right now. Conduit is power, so I've got it on the power rack. Of course, I can't remember which. Well, I guess that's the only bag there, so that's got to be it, right? There we go. And we'll come back over here and take a look around. I don't see anybody moving, so that if we don't see a light floating around, that probably means there's no pirates active on the ship, but it's not a guarantee. There absolutely can be some there. It's just, it doesn't look like it right now. I'm kind of thinking I might be willing to risk it and go with the EVA suit straight on. Might not be able to do that. I was curious if you can do that with the pad on your arm. Looks like you can. He did allow it. So you are too uncomfortable to sleep. Well, the good news is I wasn't trying to sleep, so I'm not sure what that's about. But that's okay. I'm no longer barefoot. That's good. Need to put a helmet on. There it is. We do have a sword handy, and we will just have to deal with that as necessary. I don't really need to be carrying trash around. Why don't we put that there? Start a little pile there, and we'll offload that next chance we get. Actually, one thing you can do. Well, it's maybe not. Sometimes you can jettison it. I suppose maybe we need to be in an area where that's more feasible. Okay, sword, tools, suit. I think we're good to go. Let's go see what we found here. And this door is, so there's no power. So this door both needs to be repaired. So we're just going to uninstall it. I tend to think that's the easiest way to deal with stuck doors. Mechanical parts, motherboard, there's a pump, all kind of typical stuff we might find here. The door more than likely needs a motor to be fixed. That's often the case. And there we have it. What do we got on here? Slow down just a little. There's a motor, and there's one of those patches, I think. Yeah, quick seal kit. Another door. This one also damaged, so we'll go ahead and uninstall that. Eventually, we'll want to take doors. We're going to want to put some doors over here. I talked in the last episode about my idea of maintenance corridors. Well, doors open for 3 spaces, and then you have wall. I think that's actually perfect for what I'd like to do. You just do a series of compartments of doors going down. I haven't really worked it out in my head how exactly I'd want that to work yet, though. Okay, that's just different colored floor. That's got to be motherboard. Yeah, I thought this would have been motherboard too, but it's not. Okay, and we are now in the room where we have Caleb Decker. He's winded. I have a feeling he's also dead. Yeah, blacking out and dead. Bleeding, gasping, blacking out, dead. He's a criminal as a career. Okay, I'm sorry. It looked like it says police here. I don't think that's what it says, but it did kind of look like it. So we have a couple of options here. The first thing we can do, let's examine the body. We closely examine it. It's probably going to say it looks like foul play. That'd be my guess, particularly since he's bleeding. That went way too fast. Why am I... oh, you know why I'm dizzy? I didn't put the battery back in. What an idiot. All this talk about how that's why I got distracted with the speed and all that. I was thinking, hey, I got to go put that battery in, and then I didn't do it. So let's get that taken care of. Probably good idea not to actually fully remove it, Put a new one in anytime you take one out. That would probably be a really, really good thought. Okay. And maybe we pop our helmet for a second just to... Yeah, there he goes. He's recovering some. He's in some minor pain, but at least he's not suffocating or uncomfortable from a temperature standpoint now. Let's put that back on him. Maybe he's in shock from seeing Caleb here. I don't know. I didn't see what it said, so let's see if we can get back to that. There it is. The middle-aged male corpse, but is now definitely dead. Caleb was fatally poisoned. This does not happen by accident. Okay, so it's possible there'll be a mission at the gig hut, the kiosk for jobs, where somebody's asking if we know anything about Caleb, and so I used to keep close note of that just in case, and I probably would do that on my own playthrough since that's really not my focus in this particular one. Not going to do it so much, but we certainly could. This nav station is in good shape. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's decent. That's something to make note of. The transponder is shot. We will most definitely pick up Caleb's PDA because we can certainly use the cash from that. Ethical or not, that's a good question. Caleb's dead. So up to you how you want to play that. We will let his family know about him if we happen into somebody who asks, what kind of vent is this? So I do like to get the auto vents. We haven't talked about the venting. This allows air to move between two rooms, and you can open and close it. You'll notice there's like little fins on it. Now they're closed. And if we reopen it, now they're open, now they're closed, open. And it allows air to move between two rooms. You install it with a wall or a door. Probably was would there have been a door? Yeah, there could have been a door here. You would put it there and it allows the temperature and oxygen and nitrogen to flow between two areas when it's open. The auto ones you can set up to be controlled by a switch box, a signal box. So that's kind of cool. And how much nitrogen is in here? That one's in pretty good shape. I think we're going to grab that one. Nitrogen canister, uninstall. We'll take that with us and put it right there. But not just yet. Although I am uninstalling it, I probably should at least move it into the middle of the floor so I see it when I come back around. There we go. Oh, let's move this into a backpack. Doesn't need it in his hand. So I do not see any pirates. That's good. Would prefer to not see any pirates. Though we will probably be able to defend ourselves well if that should happen, as we do have the cutlass. That is a really, really good weapon to have. And yet another door. This one also damaged. So the reason I'm noting if they're damaged before I do anything is we could potentially bring... Remember, I bought that extra battery just in case I run into trouble. We could use that and kind of plug it in, and some of the stuff would start to work, powered things. We would see lights come on, things like that, as long as conduit, of course, is connected. But if the door is damaged, it doesn't make a difference. And not a lot in here, just cargo space. And yet another door. Doors do sell fairly well. They're not incredible. They do take up 5 spots. It's part of the reason that their price per square foot, or whatever you want to call it, square meter, isn't incredible. Okay, slowing down a little bit here because this looks like some stuff we want to look at. There is an intake. It is a Kang. It's damaged. There's another intake, and it's probably a Kang, and it is. We can tell by the shape of it. Some nitrogen tanks. That one's pretty much empty. This one, about half. Come on, get there. A little more than half. We'll call it half-ish. CO2 scrubber, as we saw, those sell really well. More nitrogen. That one's pretty full. That one's empty. Some oxygen. Oxygen's always good too. 17,000. KPA, that's good. That's more than half, 23,000. More nitrogen. We'd have to uninstall these, but I think that's what we will probably do. That'll gather us probably out of this room alone a couple of $1,000s, particularly if we fix these Kangs and take them with us. We'll probably pay for the trip, be able to pay the mortgage for another day. And so right now I'm just kind of feeling out what's on the ship and, making sure there's no surprises. When you do this in your pressure suit, it takes more time because you have to keep running back and getting air. And that, you know, that's a bummer. One thing I just realized, this ship might be airtight. Nope, it's not. Never mind. When we were floating there and it didn't have a number, I thought, oh, maybe it's airtight. Doesn't appear to be. I would be surprised if it was, particularly with as much stuff completely damaged as we're seeing. Come on, pick it up. There we go. Another pretty much empty room. Ah, there is indeed a hole into the next room. Thrusters, that's good. We know thrusters are worth a couple of coins. No door on this one. There is a turbo pump in really good shape, so that's a plus. Oxygen bottle, lots of oxygen in it, undamaged. That's not bad. Another door. This door is off, but not broken. So let's do that little trick. Let's come down here. We're going to pick up this battery. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and grab the cart. I'm going to pick up the cart, start hauling some stuff. There we go. And we'll come up to here. And we will put the battery on the super handy cart. Should probably name the cart. This is the time when putting some of those lights where you want to get to isn't the bad thing because you can't find where you were otherwise. So we were right here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Well, actually, let's see if there's any lights in the area when we plug this battery in. So I'm going to right click here, install the battery. We're literally going to go like that. And because we're installing something on a derelict, we get a nice little message during long shifts spent eviscerating half-dead ships in the boneyard. You often wondered, what do we feel like to do the opposite? Yes, very true. Though that's not really our point here. But if you read through here, I'm going to go ahead and read it. The question returns to you as you look around this derelict now through the eyes of a self-employed spacer. The prospect of finding an answer has you feeling like an uncaged animal. The sound of your breathing repeats in your helmet and grows more eager with every exhalation. You set to work and your tools resound through the hall all around you. During idle moments, it's hard not to consider the consequences of installing and uninstalling parts you don't own. Sure, you're in a junkyard, but I've never figured out how to say that. It's the company's junkyard, and while they might turn a blind eye to the salvage trade when it suits them, they will bring the hammer down as soon as it doesn't. Very true. That goes double if you happen to make a derelict fly. The standard blocks on a nav station are onerous, but far from prohibitive. And clever engineering can take you a long way. So basically it's telling us we could fix this up and steal it. That's the long and short of it. But as soon as trash becomes treasure, you can be certain corporation security won't be far behind. And if you're not careful, possibly a few years in the brig. Yeah. So I'm not terribly interested in playing as a pirate. If you are, have at it. More power to you. We're going to move on from here. Install that battery. Watch things light up a little bit, maybe. There we go. So not a tremendous amount of light, but some. Well, actually, that means the conduit's in pretty good shape throughout the ship. And there is a really good-looking reactor in here. We're seeing most of the parts. I don't know if it's all of them. Pellet feeder, it could be all of them. We need the cryo pump. Nonetheless, we have something to work with here. At the very least, we'll be able to make some cash off of it. The other thing is, definitely looks like no pirates, so we don't really need to worry about that anymore. And another handy cart. We'll be able to take that with us too. Awesome. Okay, well, I think this turned into a money grabbing trip. That's what I'm trying to say. So the door, oh, now the door is locked. Outstanding. Do we have our PDA on us? We do. I think we can try to hack the lock. Let's see. I haven't done this in a really long time. So we could try to factory reset it. I'm not sure that did what I thought it was going to do. I think the better option would have been, now can we go through? Nope. Access lock. Boy, did I just not see it? When flashing, lock is in factory reset node. Enter a new pin, okay? There it is. Okay. We have the pin. Okay. Is that all we needed to do? That's all we needed to do. Look at that. Okay, so there's electrical parts. There's an O2 alarm. There's a motherboard. We have that nice pump. There was that oxygen bottle that we saw. I think it's the same one. Maybe not. Never hurts to have oxygen on you though, right? Let's go ahead and uninstall this bad boy. Take it with us. And so you just literally just drop it on your cart. There it is. The electric parts probably wouldn't be the worst thing to grab. We know we ran out of mechanical parts. Oh, and there's another door. We could go out and get another antenna. All sorts of fun things we could do here. Is this door is damaged, so that we'd have to uninstall that as well. Well, I'm not sure that the antenna is worth a whole lot for us. They kind of are feast or famine, and that feels like a lot of effort for something we don't know if it's going to be any payoff whatsoever. So let's go ahead and, what was I thinking? We were going to, the electrical parts and stuff. Yeah, I normally wouldn't necessarily, it won't let me put those on the cart. I didn't realize that. We can put them in the small pouch though. Okay. And we'll come out here. More empty space. A couple of lights. You can do worse than taking the lights. Here's that reactor room though. This is where we make our money. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit in the past. We're going to go ahead and uninstall that. When you have damaged parts, particularly like a reactor, it isn't a bad idea to repair them in place, because then anything nearby that helps repair it, okay, this just needs to be restored. That's even better. Anything that is needed, this one is damaged, we can maybe scavenge from nearby. And as you can see, he's going to go, and it looks like we don't have that option this time. If I'd been thinking, I would have left the cart there and had him just do his walking as necessary instead of having him drag this all over the place. That's bad on me. Didn't think that through. Oh, he's going to go again. We're definitely thinking that through this time. So just drop the dang cart. Let's see. We need to find open ground to do that. So we'll get him up here. There's the cart. Okay, and now continue what you were doing. Yeah, anytime you're dragging the cart, you do drag the cart everywhere you go. So that's a consideration. Damaged battery. Let's see what else we've got. I think that's the fuel. It's damaged. Pellet feeders, damaged. I think that's another pellet feeder. MHD generator, damaged. The laser array, damaged. And then cryo pump, are we seeing it? I'm not sure if we are. So if we have everything but a cryo pump though, that's not bad at all. And as we can see, he's now repairing that. And he's done. So we'll stop and we'll do the next one. And again, the idea is, particularly with having the EVA suit, you're not having to run out and get oxygen every time. You're hopefully saving yourself a step later. Now, it looks like there's parts to this that he doesn't have and he's not going to have, but it's doing a little flicky thing like he's trying to go somewhere. So sometimes just moving him and then unpausing doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Okay, it's missing a heat sink. Okay, well, we might have to go find if we have one of those. I don't know if we do. Let's see if we can repair this. I thought we had a heat sink, but maybe we've used it. Clearly he's going to the ship, so if we did have it, I think he would have grabbed it. Now, we won't install this reactor just yet. We actually need a little more space than we have, in my opinion, because you have to have the tanks to supply it. You have to have cryo, hydrogen. I feel like there's one other one that I'm not thinking of. And that takes a lot of space because they can't just sit right next to each other. They have to have area around them that's unencumbered. So we'll take a look at that in the future, but for now, we're just going to go with this. And we will repair what we can. and then take it all. And we don't have to do a full restore on it. We get it to repaired. We can do the restore once we're back on our ship flying home. Here we go. He liked that. Let's repair this one. And again, I can assign this as an order, and that's probably not a bad idea. This would be equipment, repair. We'll repair this one. We already did that one. Wasn't there one more thing over here? I can't remember. Pellet feeder, fuel coils. We can go ahead and see if it needs it. So far, it looks like it's okay. Now, this has a lot of parts if it's complete, and that's something to consider as well. Some of those parts might need to be repaired. So this does take a few seconds. We're going to go ahead and let it run. Okay, there he's just doing a restore. So we're going to move on to over here and try to get him to repair this. Cancel action and then repair. And he's finding some stuff to use with it. That's good. And there he goes. So a heat sink for this, well, we can get a heat sink at home. We'll still take it with us. So once that's done, I'm going to go to the tasks menu. We haven't really looked at the tasks menu too much, but we're going to close that one since we can't complete it right now. And then we're going to add new orders to uninstall all this stuff. Uninstall that and that and that and that and that. And set him to auto so he gets started. I don't know if we repaired that or not. But it's underway. Then we can switch it over to Hall as he finishes. Was that the only piece to that? That might have been the only piece to it. So it's not complete. And now he's going to drag it all. I like that so much better. This is working so much nicer than it used to. Congrats to the team for getting it cleaned up as much as they have. They've been in their hardening phase to kind of get ready to actually release the game out of early access for quite a while. I think I talked with Dan in January, and that was kind of where they were. And as you can see, it still has some work to go, but they have come so far with it. It's very impressive. Okay, so was he unable to uninstall it? Doesn't look like that's the problem. Did he not have anywhere to take it? That could be the problem. We'll go ahead and drag it down here, though. Okay, happy with that. And then let's see. Oh, I didn't drop the thing. There's the hole where the reactor was. So when you put in a reactor, you have to cut a hole in your floor. Just something to know about. Let's go ahead and once again pick up the cart, and then we will start to load things on the cart again. And continue to look around and see this battery is damaged pretty badly. I don't think we're going to want that. That cooler is damaged very badly. That's just wall. I do think we might, I'm thinking this is kind of tough. I don't know that we need more wall right now, although part of the mission here was to maybe start building out again. So perhaps we stay attached to this one and do what we did last time and kind of use it as a bay to connect to and be able to grab stuff out of. Let's see. There's a little bit of water in here. A new t-shirt, a duster, shoes, jumpsuit, none of it in great condition. So probably not going to worry about that, although I do like having the crate potentially. And yet another door. We are going to this one. Okay, we're going to pry this one open because it is not damaged. As you can see, that went pretty easily. Nothing to speak of. Thruster. Good chance we'll come back for the thruster. And then there is this door right here. Again, just off. Probably no power. The power conduit has to be contiguous, of course, and maybe that's what the challenge is on that one. Here is a bathroom, at least the sink part, and that has nothing in it. Okay. Well, we have this turbo pump we can uninstall. You'll notice that it is connected to a canister. And what's in that canister is kind of unknown right now. It doesn't really say. I think there's a way to load whatever you'd like into it. And maybe I'll play with that. And if I can figure out how that happens, we'll talk about it in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and take it with us. But I want to make sure I know what I'm doing there, if that actually works. It's not something I've ever really tried into a generic canister. I do know how you fill up your own oxygen and nitrogen. That's a little bit different. Let's go ahead and grab these. Why not? That one's pretty much perfect condition. No reason not to take it. And how about this one? Not quite so good, but we're mostly interested in them. Wow, did it automatically put it there for me? I don't think I clicked that there, but there it is. Okay. Well, this cart is now full, so let's bring it down here. We'll shove it in a corner. And it really wouldn't hurt to use this other cart. It's not in perfect condition, but it'll work. So why don't we go ahead and grab that? And that's a drill. We have the dolly. I think we're going to grab some of those thrusters. We also were going to grab some nitrogen and oxygen, weren't we? There we go. Here is a thruster. Uninstall. And I want to see if I open this, does it just drop it on the cart when it's done? That'd be great. Nope. All right. It was just happenstance, I guess, when it did happen that way. Thruster here. Nope. Different room. Maybe this one. A few things here, including the body. Oh, we did want to take this too. So we're going to uninstall that. We could theoretically uninstall absolutely everything and sell it all, but that would be a lot of trips back and forth, I think. Okay, you cannot put a nav console on the cart. You have to drag it manually. So that's a point to know. We have a couple more air pumps. We do have plenty of space for those. So I think we're going to go ahead and grab them. They're not exactly, we don't make tons and tons off of those, but it's something. I guess I was just clicking at the right time and it did actually click there. Let's see. Nope. I was going to say, let's go ahead and take the air vent. My one thought is if we create a stateroom with like a bathroom, it'd be great to have that. And there was another thruster. That's what I was looking for. It must be up like here. I'm not seeing it. Thought it was on this side. Oh, there's a CO2 scrubber. Those are always handy. We're going to go ahead and grab the nitrogen first, though. That's something we can kind of use. And I know one of these had, yeah, that's the one that's got quite a bit in it. We also know we can sell them for a little bit of cash if we choose. That one, 17,000. I think this one was like 4. Here it is, 20. I was wrong. We'll take that one. And I mean, we're not precluded from coming back, so it's not the worst idea. Yeah, I feel like maybe having another switch isn't the worst idea also. So I'm going to uninstall that. A couple of ideas on how we might use something like that. And that we can carry nicely in our own area. And then I do want to come back and grab some more of this conduit, but let's go ahead and set this cart down for now. And where are we on battery? Probably not the worst thing to check on. Well, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do right there. Okay, I think we're okay shape there. Let's slow this down. Our battery power, 5 hours left. And again, this is completely in reserve. We haven't started using it yet, so we are absolutely fine. I'm going to go ahead and take a break here. We'll end this episode and we'll start another one where we are kind of grabbing the pieces that we want. I do want to grab my battery back. We're grabbing the pieces that we want in order to start building out on this side. And I'm basically going to do the same thing. We're going to widen this. And yeah, let's see how far we can get in the next episode. I want to thank you for your time on this Complete Beginner's Guide. And until next time, fair travels.